Hi, Sanjeev.
Hi, Shanti.
You handle talent acquisition for almost, what, 10,000 people?
Yes.
In an extremely large company.
Yes.
I'd like to ask you, and I know you've hired quite a lot of persons with disability, so I think you're the right person to answer this question. There are a lot of big companies out there. I feel they're open, to hire persons with disability, but they feel they're not ready.
Sure.
So what kind of advice would you give them?
I would say we were also not ready before we started to hire.
Yeah.
But I think there are two important things that play a part. One is infrastructure.
Okay.
The other is the technology
Okay.
and the openness to hire these
Okay.
people.
Okay.
Because it's going to be no different than a regular hire that you do.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
These guys who we have hired in the past have been exceptional
Okay.
in the productivity. There's nothing different that we have done. We've just given them the infrastructure
Okay.
and technological assistance where needed.
Okay, and that means you also know how to hire the right people with the right skills and attitude.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we've got an indigenously developed program internally,
Yeah.
right, that helps us identify the right candidate. Could
Absolutely.
be softer traits like attitude, behavior,
Yeah.
could be technical traits like Excel, Word, document,
Whatever
or
it is,
communication, but that part of it is taken care of.
Sure.
And they are given an equal opportunity once they come in
Yeah.
to perform, develop, adapt, change,
Correct.
learn.
And I suppose, when is anybody ready for anything? I mean,
Absolutely.
when you had to do a new project, you have to take a leap of faith and do it, right?
I completely agree.
Yeah, and in fact, I would just add to this that, your company, what it did was, in the beginning, I remember, you all hired a couple of candidates. We actually did the job analysis and we saw we did the solutions part, how will that person work effectively? And then you all did the enablement, etc. And after that, you all did the policies and procedures,
Absolutely.
the awareness workshops, etc. I've also seen some companies who are extremely large and, in many cities, and I've seen that they've actually done first the policies and procedures, built the infrastructure, everything, and then they've hired. I think both ways work.
I think both ways
Yeah,
work, and
yeah.
in most cases, as companies, as organizations, we really don't know where we are leading,
Yeah.
right? And what our business strategies are going to be in the future. My advice to everyone would be just take that leap of faith,
Exactly.
right? And I think your policies and procedures can continue to be developed as you get along.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Yeah.
And I think it's common across, right? What we need to be cognizant of is that no organization recruits people who have no talent,
Yeah,
right? We all make a conscious decision to take in the best of the individuals that
Yeah.
are available in the market, irrespective of the disability or the
Correct.
ability. Once these individuals come in, there are a multitude of reasons why there is a performance issue.
Yeah.
One could be because of the capability mismatch. You have recruited an individual
Yeah.
who does not probably fit the role that you recruited for. And that's an issue with the recruitment cycle rather than the individual.
Totally,
All right?
totally.
So we should deal with the problem rather than the person over here. All right? And the next most important thing is the enablement of an individual. Have you got a process or a procedure in place that would help these individuals adapt to the current requirements?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if there is a mismatch in this, we often find that the delta becomes huge. And today's generation,
Very true.
of individuals are the ones who need continuous feedback.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And they are not hesitant to receive these feedbacks. My suggestion is to give them the feedback.
Yeah.
And if you're not equipped to give them those feedbacks, make sure that you are trained to do so.
Absolutely. I think that's fair, In fact, I think very often, not even for persons with disability, for non-disabled, you'll have mentors so that people get enabled. The only difference here is for people with disability, since they have the workplace solution, or there are some things in the environment, like, if there's a hearing impaired, you need an interpreter sometimes, or whatever. I mean, if you take care of that,
Absolutely.
then the performance should be good. Else, in any case, give the performance feedback. So if there is an issue with the performance, you're saying give the feedback. But still there's that hesitation. How can I tell he's a person with disability? He or she will feel bad. He already has a challenge. These are the kind of...
No, I don't think so, right? Because I
okay.
think if you have that apprehension of giving the feedback,
yeah.
you need to raise your hand and take help.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Because I don't think anybody would want an individual who does not perform in the team. Right? Because
Yeah,
it impacts the other individuals too.
Absolutely. That's
right?
why I don't understand why that happens.
Absolutely.
You know?
And if you still think that this individual is not capable of performing in the
Yeah.
current role,
Yeah.
go out, reach out to the wider organization and see what these skill sets or where these skill sets would be matched.
Sure.
And try to fit in this individual into this organization, because as an organization, we invest a lot of time, energy into recruitment, into employment training, etc. So once that's done, it is important and imperative that we find roles that match their skill sets.
Correct.
Right? And most of the organizations like ours do have internal training programs too.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And I think we are slowly trying to equip these training programs to enable
Yeah.
right, people with disabilities to also learn. So we do have e-learning programs, but if we have a visually impaired person,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
how does 37,000 e-learning programs help that individual?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Right? So what are we doing to help enable these individuals is a question that we need
Correct,
to ask.
correct.
And it's not a one-off process, but it's something that needs to be continuously looked at.
And at the end of the day, I don't see how a person is going to improve unless you give them feedback.
Absolutely.
Right? So they'll have to take the plunge and give the feedback.
Absolutely.
I think one thing people are forgetting is if that person has come to your door through all their challenges, done the education, they would have also got feedback at some time or the other. I mean, when you get your marks every time, you've got feedback that you didn't do well. So, I mean, it's not that this person is going to be shocked with the feedback. There will be some sensitive people, and that requires handling just like you do for people without disability. I think that's pretty much the reason.
I think just being open,
Yeah.
honest, and
Yeah.
putting your requirements up front,
Yes.
and providing that individual a comfort zone, trying to enable that individual or trying to tell that individual that we are here to help you,
Yeah.
to assist you.
And to improve, that's all.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
right? Because as a team, we want to be successful,
Correct.
right? It is not about pinpointing an issue with an individual. It is all about letting that individual know that there are certain skills that
Yeah.
you may want to improve on, and these are the assistance that we can provide. And once that's done, I think it's a mutual benefit.
So I think only 2-3 things: be open and have that space or that where there's a comfort
Absolutely.
feeling, and then the person just gives the honest, direct feedback. I think
And as supervisors, I have had these issues too, to
Yeah.
give feedbacks, right? So the only thing I did was to reach out to Enable India, to other institutes
Yeah.
that could help me sensitize myself on what are the various other methods
Correct.
that I can give feedback.
I remember only, I think we just say, chill, cool, man. Just
Yeah.
relax and just give your feedback.
Absolutely, right? It's no different in most cases, right?
But you just need to hear it once. I think
Absolutely,
that's
right?
it, yeah.
That enables us to actually do our job.